Hello and welcome to David Parker News. I'm David Parker, your host. Thank you for joining me. And I'd like to say thank you to everybody who subscribed to my channel, who like, subscribe, and comment on my videos. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. And shout out to my main man, Nino. His channel, Nino's 2 Cent, is doing really good. Nino, keep up the hard work. You're doing a great job. Thank you so much. And to everybody else that I didn't mention, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. And I'd like to get started by saying happy birthday to Viola Ford Fletcher, who turned 111 years old. Viola is the oldest living person who survived the Tulsa race war riots of 1921. Viola was born May 10th, 1914. She's known as Mother Fletcher. Her and her family and 4 siblings were living in the Greenwood area, which was known as Black Wall Street. It was a very rich area. She was 7 years old at the time. On that fateful night in May 31st, 1921, she was 7 years old and she was asleep at the time the riot started. And to this day, Viola sleeps on a sofa, sitting up, because she was so terrified of sleeping when that riot started, so she no longer can lay down and sleep. So I would like to say, happy birthday, Viola. We wish you many, many more. And remember, everybody, Black Wall Street was real. Just ask Viola Fletcher, because she lived through it. Fox News is reporting a man stabbed his mother with a machete in the 3000 block of Elsner Avenue on Friday morning. Police was called to the scene after reports of a domestic violence call. When they arrived on the scene, they found the mother laying on the ground with a stab wound. The suspect fled the scene and later appeared at a neighbor's house. The neighbor shot at him, but missed. He was later apprehended by the police. The boy has mental illness problems. He's known to have psychosis, depression issues, and they are holding him now on an aggravated assault charge in the Fort Worth jail. And I'd like to talk about mental health for a minute. You know, 1 in 5 adults experience some type of mental illness. That's like 23% of the population, and that's 57.8 million people. And the number one mental illness that most people experience is anxiety. You know, and anxiety comes from worrying and thinking too much and your mind racing about how you're going to do this, how you're going to do that. Most people go through that, but a lot of people can't deal with it because the part of anxiety is worrying about the unknown, things you can't control, paying your bills and this types of thing. So a lot of people who can't deal with it get help and get medication for it. And we'd like to raise awareness for mental illness because we have a lot of people that go undiagnosed. We also have a report of a Nebraska couple in an apparent murder-suicide. A family of 4, Father Jeremy Couch, Bailey Couch, that's in Jeremy's 41, Bailey's 40, and their 2 kids, Hudson, 18, and Asher, 15, were found stabbed to death in their home. Police said it looks like an apparent murder-suicide, that Jeremy stabbed his wife and kids and then killed himself. Neighbors say Jeremy has been going through episodes of depression and psychosis. He has been in and out of the mental health hospital. He had just got out of the hospital days before the attack. And people in Nebraska is asking for answers. How could a person get out of the hospital and do something so quickly? So we have to do something about the mental health problem because it affects 1 in 5 people. Now let's get to the entertainment news. Puff Daddy trial has started. It started out with a bang. Prosecutor Emily Johnson opened up with allegations that Puff Daddy forced his ex-girlfriend Kathy Ventura to let a man urinate in her mouth, and it almost choked her to death. Yes, you heard it right. He forced her to let a man urinate in his mouth. We had a sex worker on the stand who said that Puff Daddy hired him to have sex with Cassie. And Puff Daddy sat there and watched it. The worker said Puff Daddy had on a hat, had on a bandana around his face, but he knew it was Puff Daddy because when Puff Daddy, she called him baby, and he spoke, and that's when he knew it was Puff Daddy. Puff Daddy directed him basically. He told him to put the baby oil on, Astroglide lubrication is readily available there. So he said he complied with whatever Puff Daddy did. They rubbed baby oil on each other, and then they put on a show in front of Puff Daddy, supposedly for Cassie's birthday. The sex worker also testifying that he overheard Puff Daddy beating Cassie, slapping her around, and she was screaming and hollering. And the alleged video that we saw of her running in a hotel and he went and grabbed her, bringing her back, is the said event where she was made to let a man urinate in her mouth. He said after he brought her back in after that beating, she complied to everything that he said. So it's looking bad for Puff Daddy from the start because they did not get a chance to cross-examine him yet, but it seems like his defense is that everything that happened was consensual. He did not traffic anybody. That looks like what Puff Daddy is trying to say his defense is going to be, that everything was consensual. So we'll see how that goes, because we have people lining up to testify. The Dallas Mavericks have won the draft lottery. They had one of the lowest percentages of winning it and actually won the lottery. Now remember, the Dallas Mavericks was the team who traded Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers a few months ago in a blockbuster trade. And everybody called for the head of the president of the Dallas Mavericks, Nico Harrison. Everybody wanted his job. And now he's looking like a genius, because the number one pick in the NBA draft is a person by the name of Cooper Flagg, who is 18 years old, and he is a standout at Duke University. He was Player of the Year, and everybody say he is the next great thing. So it looked like it worked out for the Dallas Mavericks. They end up getting someone better than they let go. And that makes you wonder, was all of this arranged from the start? Well, only time will tell. You know, we have a new pope. His name is Robert Francis Prevost. He goes by the name of Leo the 14th. He is the first U.S. born pope, born in Chicago. He went to Villanova University. He went to a theological seminary in Chicago. And according to reports, his parents is French, Italian, and of Spanish descent. Now, we also have reports that he has black ancestry. According to reports by a man out of New Orleans who is a genealogical expert, and this is being reported on the news and on media takeout, that his paternal grandparents are on record, on 20th Century Records, birth records, stating that they are of mulatto and black descent. And this is also some more relatives that has that on their records as being listed as black or mulatto. So we may actually have the first pope that has black ancestry. Now, since we're talking about the pope, I'd like to talk about the process that they have to go through when they are selecting a new pope. It is a very complicated process, but it's very, very interesting. So let's talk about that just for a little bit. You have 133 cardinals, and I believe you have to at least get 80 of them to vote in order to win the election for a new pope. You have to have 80 out of the 133. Well, you have, when this is going on, you have some people, some cardinals that have a lot more influence than other cardinals. You have cardinals that have nicknames. You have one cardinal, he's known as the Black Pope, and he's very, very influential. And the Black Pope right now is a man by the name of Arturo Sosa. Now, and remember, this is a nickname. It's not an official name, but they use that name. And he is the Supreme General Council of the Society of Jesus, which is the Jesuits. The Jesuits is a religious order within the Catholic Church that dates back to 1540. They are a very powerful group of people. And the Pope that just passed was the first Jesuit Pope. And according to a lot of reports that they said that conspiracy theorists said that they had reports that he was going to be the last Pope. But we see how conspiracy theorists work. We have another Pope right now. Well, this Pope, the unofficial Black Pope, which he is a cardinal, but he has a lot of influence by being the head of the Jesuits. And the Jesuits is very, 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 very powerful. And he directs their activities worldwide as far as the humanitarian efforts. And they also operates in every country around the world. So if you don't know about the Jesuits, I suggest you look into it. And they are a very powerful branch inside the Vatican. But the Black Pope is not the most powerful person in the Vatican. The Pope is not the most powerful person in the Vatican. They have a person that goes by the nickname, the Gray Pope. Now, the Gray Pope has more influence than any other cardinal. He is a very high-ranking cardinal, and he directs the Pope's activities. When you look it up, that's what they're going to tell you. He operates in the shadows. He exerts influence behind the scene. And the Gray Pope, he is a very high-ranking cardinal. But the Gray Pope, they lineage goes back to the Orsini family. The Orsini family is an old Roman nobility family that dates back to the days of Rome. They held Senate positions in Rome. The Orsini family boasts 5 popes, 35 cardinals. They have properties around the world. They are known as the most powerful family on earth. That's who the Orsini family is. And that's who the great Pope is. He's connected to the Orsini family. And when they had the conclave, you have these two factions. You have the Jesuits, and you have the great Pope Orsini clan. And they normally pick the Pope. There is no doubt who the Pope's going to be because they control the cardinals. So now we have a new Pope. And one of the things I'd like to say is that the Pope, he has unrivaled power. There is no checks and balances on the Pope. He is the supreme leader of the universal church, answerable to no one but God himself. He can pardon any bishop or priest for any crime. He himself cannot be charged with any crime. So we have a new Pope. We have the Dallas Mavericks look like they may be on the rise again. Now we see why they raised ticket prices before next season even got here. They announced that they were raising ticket prices after they traded Luka Doncic. Make you think they knew something was going to be happening. And I want everybody to make sure y'all stay tuned about what's going on with the Puff Daddy trial. It's going on right now, and it's going to be, I'm going to keep you up on whatever happens, whatever breaking news that goes on there. You're going to hear it first here. And remember, we need to do something about the mental health crisis because it is getting out of hand. So if there's anything you can do, talk to your congressman, your senators, or your local city councilmen, and to see what resources can be used and what could be done to help fight people that has mental illnesses. Thank everybody for watching, and remember to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and comment and tell me what you think about what's going on. What do you think about the great Pope, the Black Pope? And do you think that one person should be above the law like the Pope is? This is David from David Parker's podcast, Breaking News. Thank you for joining me.